Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. How are you? Sorry, I'm running late again, as usual. I'm trying to take all of these patterns that I'm about to show you out of their plastic so that we don't have this insane plastic noise. There is only 8 of them, so it shouldn't take me too long. Give me one split second here. And of course, they're all falling over, which is not making my life easier. Oh, if you hear a loud noise, I'm running the dishwasher. It's nothing weird, just an old dishwasher. The dishwasher in my apartment is unfortunately quite old, but then again, I don't want to get a new one because it probably won't work as well. So there you go. All right, so welcome back to my channel, everybody. Nice to see everybody, and hi. So as I promised last week, I'm going to show you the 8 patterns that I overpaid for on Etsy. That's all right. It happens, right? You know, the thing is you like, it's a good deal. And then you realize with like the tax and the shipping, you're paying more in tax and shipping than for the pattern. Like, you know, like stuff like that happens all the time. So, but let's talk about what I found this week at Goodwill. Let's talk about the patterns I got and a couple of other little things. So first of all, Tuesday, I went to Goodwill. I did not film this, but I found, here it is. Yes, the yellow flannel, which I believe goes with this flannel. Remember all that beautiful infant themed flannel, nursery flannel? Well, I think this is the yellow that goes with it. It's almost a perfect match. It's slightly darker, but I figured that's why it was there, right? It's on its own. I also found a bunch of fabric, and we're going to look at it because this is really what you would call like, it's all coordinating fabric. And like sometimes you'll see advertised, you'll see like charm sets, which is pre-cut squares, fat squares, and they all match each other. They're all, you know, the same. They're not the same pattern. They're all different patterns, patterns of fabric. When you look at them, they coordinate with each other. They were made to go together. So we'll show you that in a minute. But in the meantime, I picked up this. It is some kind of a rayon. It doesn't feel like it has any cotton in it. I'm going to say it's mostly rayon. It's this chocolate brown check, and it is 4.5 yards plus like a scotch, right? Now, when I was in Goodwill, I said to the girl who was like ringing me up, I said, you know, I don't understand your pricing. This was $4.49. These other pieces I'm going to show you were also $4.49. Some of them were huge pieces. Some of them were barely a yard. I don't know what the logic is. I don't think there is any logic. I think they're just like fabric, $4.49. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So yeah. So let me show you this set because it is really beautiful. So let's start with this, but this piece is washed. So I'll start with the unwashed piece, which I folded inside out. I shouldn't have done that. So this seems to be the main theme. Very pretty, very 1940s and 1930s because of that minty color. Very pretty. And then this went with it. And if you look, you'll notice that they coordinate with each other. In fact, I'll just hold up this one piece because we're going to keep seeing it coordinate with the other pieces. Then these were the 2 really large pieces. That's the crazy thing. This piece, $3.49 or $4.49. This piece, $4.49. This is like 2 yards, 2.5 yards, right? All right. Again, can you see? And then last but not least, another like 3 yards or so. You can see also all coordinating. So a nice bit of fabric for someone who might want to do a quilt. It's not super juvenile. I don't think it needs to be like a baby quilt. I think it's pretty. I have this plastic bag from something I got on Amazon. I'm going to put them all together because I feel like they need to be together so they don't get mixed up. So that was that. And before we get to the patterns on Etsy, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, part of my craziness. In spite of the fact that I'm a woman who currently has 3,000 patterns online, and I have no idea how many more. I put some patterns I had into that pattern box I got from the order I did last week. I don't even know how many patterns I have. I have so many patterns. But what do? I go and buy more patterns. So I got this off Etsy. I know, bear with me for a minute. I feel like this, with the exception of the Peter Pan collar, I'm not a Peter Pan collar person. The pink fabric that I showed you guys before, that beautiful linen blend, I think that made into this, or I'll do this side, made into this with a fabric, same belt, would be absolutely beautiful as like a 30s suit. I can't decide if I want to do, instead of doing the Peter Pan collar, doing either no collar so that you would wear a shirt under it and really make it a suit, or put a lace collar on it. I've been kind of saving my lace collar. Now, the other thing I got, by the way, both of these also have the hats, which I really like. I've never tried to make hats, but it might be a fun thing to do someday when I have time that I don't seem to have right now. But, you know, I also got this. So this is a classic 1920s coat, but hear me out on this. This is another one. Also has the hat. There's the line drawings. This is the kind of thing that I look at and I think this is so basic that it's really versatile. And in a lot of ways, it's timeless. And I have that beautiful green fabric that I got from Goodwill ages ago. I know I showed it to you guys. I don't know where it is right now. No, it's right there on top of that box. It's like a plaid. And I thought I can make myself, even though, you know, I'm a chicken shit. I'm afraid to make coats. I can make myself a coat out of that. And it would be very kind of classic, right? I wouldn't do a fur collar. Not really my thing. I mean, it's okay, but it's not really my thing. But I have this. This is a one-button coat, and I have this insanely cool, I'll take it out of the plastic, button that, of course, was in like, you know, like an old candy tin with a bunch of other buttons that didn't make any sense. This, to me, looks like a toggle button. And I thought, you know, I'm going to put these together, too. I feel like that could be a possibility. So I also bought this off Etsy. Now, keep in mind, like I was saying earlier, I think both of these patterns were less than $6. Then I'm paying $5 for shipping. So I'm almost paying as much for the shipping as I am for the pattern. But what are you going to do? Right? It is what it is. So without further ado, we only have 8 patterns. We'll go through them. It'll be quick. We'll have a nice little quick video. You got to see my fabric. And we'll take it from there. By the way, this, what I would like to do with this is, there was a dress called the Hooverette, and it was made in the 30s. It was named after President Herbert Hoover, who was not very popular during the 30s, during the Depression. But this is more than enough to make a Hooverette. They tend to be like a wrap dress, and then sometimes they're buttoned, or sometimes they're tied. Sometimes they have a collar, sometimes they don't. You can do them sleeveless. You can do them with a sleeve with a cuff. You can do them with a sleeve with no cuff. I would love to do this with white collar, white cuffs on the gingham sleeves. I don't wear the color brown very often, but because it's in this gingham, I think it would actually be okay, especially with like a white collar. So that's what I'm thinking about. But you know me with the sewing plans. Like I was watching a sewing video today, and I really miss sewing, but then I look around this room and I have so much I have to do in this room that it's like impossible, right? Okay, so without further ado, first pattern. So very basic 2-hour pattern for the different skirts, maxi length, midi length, with or without the slit. Cute, really basic. It's one of the reasons I bought these. They're modern, but all of these patterns, the clothes are very basic. Very classic, not going to go out of style. Like this is very 90s. It's very dated, but I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just a suit. You could make it look more, you know, modern. Sorry about that. This 2005, I mean, it's so basic, right? It's a pattern for hoodies and stuff you could go to the gym in, stuff you could sleep in. So these are, by the way, all up online. They're live, as people like to say. They've been listed. if you're interested in any of them. Some of them I put up on the front page, so you'll see them right away. Others, you'll have to look in the 90s or the 2000s patterns. I did remove, hold on, let me guys show you this lovely wrap dress. And a lot of these are So News, which was great because So News, you can still watch some of their old videos. Another skirt pattern. I took down all of my vintage 1940s patterns, and I'll tell you why. A, they're not selling. I think I've sold as many as I'm going to sell. Also, I'm noticing when I do sell vintage patterns, I tend to sell the 1950. By the way, this is a wrap. I don't know if you guys saw that. I tend to sell the 1950 ones, right? I kind of want to keep my 1940s patterns because I kind of like having an archive of these patterns. I feel like, you know, and call me sentimental, but I love the 1940s. I love the whole era, all of it. And I feel like these patterns have like an importance to them. I feel like they're historic, like they're artifacts. And so I just decided to take them down for a while and just keep them in my own private personal collection. And they're absolutely beautiful. If you guys would like to see them to refresh your memories, just send me a request and maybe some week coming up, I'll take care of that. This is the last week of school. So I'm going to be very busy in the next 3 days, basically. We have 3 half days. Unfortunately, I wish they would reverse them and make them afternoon half days because I still have to get up at 4 in the morning, even though they're half days, right? And I'm sure my students, especially my high school students, would love it if we had half days where we got there later in the day and not earlier in the day because they're all asleep on the bus. So it's going to be a busy week for me. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything next week, but you never know. Things change. Oh, and if you're thinking, why does her hair look different? It is because I changed my part. So you can see my little skunk piece over here. There we go. See it? I do that. That's a little hack. Like my hair gets really damaged by sunlight. And so what I do is I flip my part back and forth to let it kind of rest. Oh, wow. I have a lot of gray right there. Just so my hair can rest a little bit. So now the part that's been hit by the sun all winter will take a little break, and I'll let this little piece get hit by the sun over the summer, and then we'll flip them back in the fall. But so, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing anything next weekend. But like I said, you never know. Like the weirdest things happen. You know, somebody comes over to my house with fabric, like happened a couple of weeks ago. Just here, have some fabric. Okay, great, thanks. You know, you never know. But I am going to try and do some more stuff this summer. I just foresee myself being busy. But there will be stuff coming up in the summer. I just don't know what yet. And so until next time, this is a very short video. We didn't even do 15 minutes. I hope that wherever you are, things are good, that it's summery. It is not summery here in New Jersey. You notice I'm wearing long sleeves. The high today was 60 and we already had it at like 1. It's actually kind of cold. Now, it's not winter cold, but it's cold for June, especially the end of June in South Jersey. So it's a weird day. We have a huge forest fire about 10 miles from where I live in the Wharton State Park, which is a humongous state park in the middle of New Jersey. Yes, in spite of what you've heard, New Jersey is not all industrial parks. In fact, the South is almost all agriculture. We have a place here kind of in the middle of New Jersey called Wharton National Park, and it's, I want to say it's like 40,000 acres, but you might actually be able to add a 0 to that. It might be 400,000 acres. It's huge. It's right in the middle of the state, and it's great. It's all pine barrens, so there's all these animals living in it. It's great, but it's on fire right now, which happens. Was not foul play. Around here in the summer, what happens is it gets very dry in the pine barrens, and the wind starts to blow, and the pine trees that are too close to each other start to rub, and they actually create enough friction to light pine needles that are on the kind of the floor around them, the bottom of the pine barrens on fire. And we have these forest fires. So we're fighting one right now. Really heavy smoke the last couple of days. It's a little bit better today. We had some rain last night, so it calmed it down and it got rid of some of the smoke that was lingering in the air. But I do know that it's still happening. It's not done yet. It's still going. So we have that going on, and it's a little on the chilly side. So it's a weird kind of June, but school's still over on Wednesday. So until next time, which I don't know when that's going to be, I hope wherever you are, it actually feels like summer. I hope that school's getting out for anybody who's excited about school getting out. And until next time, be safe out there, and may the road rise